What's up guys, Headquarters here, and today we're going to be doing part 6 of our playthrough of Love, Money, Rock and Roll. And in the last episode we went dress shopping with Himitsu after school, and she was kind of bummed out about Katya, an old flame who came storming back into our life in a whirlwind of Sakura Blossom. So I spent the rest of the day trying in vain to stop thinking about Catherine. No, this was going to drive me insane. The phone rang every 5 minutes. I didn't pick up because I knew it was Kiyosuke. There aren't many others who'd be calling me, and if it really was that raging otaku, well, at least he wasn't banging on the door. I ended up simply unplugging the phone. It's the most simple solution for times like this, when you want to be alone in your living room, in your empty house, because your parents are dead. And now it's night time. TV and video games didn't distract me for long before I'd had enough of them. I even tried doing some schoolwork, something I don't do very often. I played a little bass, slap at the bass. I made a simple supper. Himitsu usually makes my supper. I would have, of course, preferred eating something Himitsu made. See, called it. I know, Himitsu. I know you. But it seemed she was busy today. It wasn't that she absolutely had to make me both breakfast and supper every day. And lunch. She made us lunch. I simply got used to it. Especially our carer, Himitsu. Now that I thought about it, habits have become an integral part of my life. You could even say they've assumed a leading role. And Catherine's sudden appearance threatened to ruin everything. It's as if I grew senile, flabby in the past 1.5 years. Senile and flabby. Flabby brain? Flabby senile brain. Flabby senile brain. To the point that all I cared about was the status quo. On the other hand, why would I want something to disturb my life when it couldn't possibly lead anywhere good? The doorbell rang suddenly, rather than slowly. It was probably Himitsu, but at this hour? I slowly made my way towards the door. However, a thought crossed my mind on the way. Why would Himitsu be ringing the bell in the first place? She's got keys to our house. So it had to be Kiyosuke, although it's definitely way too late for him. That fatso's daily routine consisted solely of sleeping and anime. Wait, why was I even making a fuss over this? However, there was nobody on the doorstep. I looked around and walked outside, but the street was empty. You just got pranked, mate. Niko-kun, you got pranked. Stupid pranksters. But someone had definitely been here. On the way back I noticed a note on the door, and also that the music had suddenly turned all spooky and suspicious-like. Nikolai-san, be careful. You are in great danger. You are being hunted by very powerful people linked to your father. This is neither a joke nor a hoax. Right. And upon entering my house I would surely find a busty magical girl in the living room, ready to carry out my every command. Yep, that follows on from there being a note warning you about life-threatening danger on your door. This is life in Japan, people. Life in Japan. Kisuke! I shouted. This isn't funny anymore. And why would he involve my father? My parents? The accident at the plant a year ago. They fled the Soviet Union when I was 7. In Japan they worked as simple engineers in Kobayashi Corporation. After their death I had the chance to return to the USSR, but since at that point I had spent most of my life in Japan, I decided to stay. My father's friends helped with the legal formalities, and his bank account prevented me from starving. Kiyosuke? I called with less confidence, but the only answer I got back was a rant from the neighbour about how it's night time and I'm causing a ruckus in the house. But if it wasn't Kiyosuke, then who? If it was a joke, then its creators have failed to achieve their goal. Being funny. Is this Katya? You pranking me, Katya? You come back in my life, you leave notes on my door, and don't leave me busty anime girls in my living room? What if this was all much more straightforward? And this was the real deal. I fiddled with the note. It was a normal, carefully torn notebook sheet. It was written in Japanese, with good handwriting, although the spelling left something to be desired. Why would they even write by hand? Wouldn't it have been easier to print it out? Or to make it out of newspaper clippings? Like in those cheesy detective shows? In any case, I've ruled out Kyosuke. I would have instantly recognised his handwriting. You are in great danger. Linked to your father? What if it was those brats? Oh yeah, the ones I punched down and showed them a lesson for, annoying Iwamaru. Yeah, I remember. Having loaded parents isn't a guarantee that you're going to master the Japanese language. Nope, you can still be a rich idiot. Maybe Ellie-sama's servants decided to get revenge for this morning's incident. No, that was just silly. Who could possibly care about a simple Japanese student like me anyway? And why now? Right after Catherine came back. It's all falling into place. To be honest, I didn't remember how good her Japanese was, nor did I remember her handwriting, but she had been in Japan for significantly less time than me. Catherine had been a normal student, she hadn't been getting straight A's, and after a year and a half without practice, at the very least I could certainly say that she was the prime suspect. The question of why didn't even enter my mind. I've stopped questioning her motives a long time ago. Either way, I was going to have to try to get some answers at school tomorrow. But for now, sleep. It's been a while since I've had such a tiring day. To bed we go with the noisy fan in our room. Yet sleep would not come. I kept tossing and turning, and eventually became angry with myself over being unable to fall asleep. Meanwhile, the hands of the clock slipped past midnight. A quiet ring. I flinched and perked up my ears. Maybe I've imagined it? Seriously? Again? I leapt up and scanned the room for something to use in self-defense. Go for globe or guitar. Posters are no good. Lamp, maybe? Lamp, guitar, or globe, I'm going to say. My bass was out of the question. Okay, not bass. The amp, maybe? I approached the door on stiff legs and asked in a trembling voice, "Who is it?" "Niko-kun." Oh, it's Himitsu. Oh, great. I let out a sigh of relief and opened the door, but she's got keys. "Do you know what time it is?" "Sorry, but your phone wasn't working." "So that's no reason to come here in the middle of the night." "I know, but I called several times. I wanted to know if you'll go to school tomorrow. If you're so worried about my attendance, then you shouldn't be waking me up in the middle of the night." "Sorry." I suddenly felt uncomfortable. After all, this was normal for Himitsu, and yet I started venting all my problems by lashing out at her. "Nikolai, you can be a bit of a dick at times, just saying. She didn't bring Catherine back to Japan, nor did she write that note. No, I'm the one who should be sorry. It's just that today was an awful day. I mean, it was pretty difficult, pretty intense. Also, I was already sleeping, or at least trying to. Now I'll let you be. Oh, Himitsu, you're just like the best. You definitely are. You deserve the title of Himitsu being Bae. You are Bae. Good night." I closed the door after her and went back to bed. If today had been a difficult day, then what was tomorrow going to be? Another day, another date. 1987. Oh, door's open. And we've been stabbed in our sleep. No. The ringing of 100 bells in my head, each one playing a different melody, announced the arrival of a new morning. That was how the game opened, wasn't it? I think. Accompanying them was cheerful birdsong, the construction site a street over, the lively voices of street peddlers, the incessant hum of that godforsaken fan, and nearby disgruntled grunts. "Oh, it's angry Himitsu, look at the little angry mouth." An icy glare from two giant green eyes, puffed out cheeks, and two red pigtails. Wait! This already happened before! Oh no, we're stuck in Groundhog Day. I jumped out of bed, gave Himitsu a dumbfounded stare, and blurted out, "What's the day today?" "Tuesday," she replied, frightened. "What's wrong?" "Tuesday, eh? Alright then. Let it be Tuesday." I carefully looked around my room. The open notebook I tried to do my homework in yesterday lay in its proper place, which meant everything was fine. Time and space had not been meddled with. It just seemed like the new day didn't come. What do you mean? Well, like when you wake up and today is still yesterday. Like in some science fiction novel, I mean. You read too many of them. Himitsu laughed. Everything did seem to be running its normal course. However, there was some strange smell. I sniffed the air. Is that? Yes, well, I made breakfast early today. Oh, Himitsu. A big pot of borscht stood on the table. Oh, it's borscht! I have been craving borscht for so long. Jesus, but why? Didn't you ask for it yesterday? No, I didn't. I simply mentioned it in passing. It was a joke, anyway. Well, you know what? She said threateningly. Now you'll have to eat this joke. Soup for breakfast is, of course, unorthodox, and Himitsu outdid herself. I wondered, if yesterday I mentioned foie gras with Chateau Margaux 1978, would all of this have been waiting for me on the table as well? In any case, the borscht turned out to be quite tasty, although it hadn't been made according to the traditional recipe, of course. Well, Himitsu was sitting across from me looking at me intently. And why aren't you eating? I'm waiting for you to say something here. Oh yeah, sorry, it's very tasty. Really? She didn't believe me. Yes, really. Why should it be otherwise? Himitsu tasted her borscht. It is. And don't you dare complain about what I'm cooking again. When did I ever complain? You simply don't understand my jokes. Yeah, brush it off, Niko-kun. Brush it off. I understand everything. It seemed like cheerful, meaningless banter, but she did not appear to be her usual self. Every so often a sad expression would cross her face. No, Himitsu, don't be sad. You can't be sad when you eat borscht, because borscht is the happy food. Did something happen? No? What about you? What about me? And then yesterday's events flashed before my eyes. The surprise awakening and the borscht distracted me. I didn't immediately remember Catherine on the note or the note. Everything's alright, just a bit unexpected. Don't worry, I'm gonna be fine. Good, if you're sure about that. She smiled. Let's go, we'll be late for school. Oh yeah, school time, great. Woo! We only exchanged a couple of words along the way. There was simply nothing to talk about. I didn't want to tell Himitsu about the note yet, and I doubt anything noteworthy enough to tell me has happened to her during the night. We could have made talk, of course, but this was not up my alley. Unlike this alley, which was right up my alley. Ha ha ha! Oh, and now we're at school. Finally, we reached the school. So, that's been Love, Money, Rock and Roll, episode 6. We're getting along there. I've been Ed Quarters. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Bye for now.